Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Marlene. You are watching the Marlene Edit, and this specifically is Knit Chat episode 1. So it's literally me chit chatting while I knit. Today's episode, I'm crocheting, which is not really knitting, but I do both. And I couldn't find a name that goes well. Knit chat is just chit chat while I knit. What do you make it with crochet? So that's the name of the episode. Anyways, I have to figure out where to put this microphone so that my hands are free and we can chat. I am working on pants. I have worked down and both legs are currently attached to this one ball of yarn. I believe it's my last one, and I'm working on both legs at the same time because I don't want to end up in a situation where one leg is fully completed, but then the yarn left isn't enough to finish the other leg. So when I have like projects that will require me to do the exact same thing twice, I usually tend to do them at the same time. I feel like I should do this in such a way that you can see what I'm doing. It is a knit chat after all. So in today's video, I want to talk about YouTube. This is one of my first few videos on YouTube, and I have wanted to do YouTube for so many years now. It's in my head, I can truly remember myself thinking and considering YouTube um, for, I would say, no less than 7 years now. And the number one reason why I didn't do it was, one, I am risk averse. I tend to take as little risks as possible. But also the other thing, the number one thing was my career. So I am a software engineer by trade. I studied it, did my master's degree in it, have been doing it for 6 years now. And I am from Rwanda. So my YouTube interests had nothing to do with tech. They had nothing to do with tech at all. I would want to do, I don't know, hair. I love hair. I would love to do what I'm doing now, crochet, things that express my artistic side. Right now, in Rwanda, we have, it's not just in Rwanda, actually, I think at the time I used to think it was a Rwandan mentality, but now having come to Canada and lived here for some time, I have come to realize that maybe it's just a human thing. When people see you in one aspect, they tend to think of you in that aspect. So essentially, what I'm saying is, I had this sense that if someone was to see me um, on the screen doing my makeup, right? And that's how they are introduced to me for the first time. And then I bump into this person, let's say in an interview, in a job interview, and they're like on the hiring committee. I had a feeling that some people would be biased. Some people would get biased towards me in the sense of, oh, I see this girl doing her makeup and her hair and talking about these things and traveling, and there's a perception that people have of YouTubers. They think they're not the brightest. It's wrong, but people have it. And so, given that I wanted to have my career, and also later on I came to think about it and I was like, why did I think that my YouTube would be so popular and so thriving that people would just know me? But that's just how I think. I am not a pessimist, so whenever I'm doing something, I know that there's always the chance of it failing and the chance of it succeeding. What if I become like a household name, you know? So that was one of the things that was happening. And you're probably wondering now that you're starting the YouTube, what changed? One, I moved to Canada. I have one, this is a Canada is a much bigger economy. It's a much bigger place. And the odds of my videos being watched by someone that will either be like, I don't want to hire her because I've seen her on YouTube, they are much lower. That's one. Two, even if my YouTube comes out, let's say in my background check, it's not like I'm planning to do some crazy things that would be violating corporate rules. Now, I know and I've seen people who's have careers. I can think of one girl that I saw a few days ago. Her name is Jezebel on TikTok. If you don't know who she is, she's an attorney in the US, I believe in California, and she makes like these videos of her dating life, and she just makes coffees. She's on TikTok, right? And her videos are just normal. Like, of course, she's talking about dating, and people tend to feel a certain way about it. But in essence, she had to quit her job because she was being treated in a very weird way. Literally, people saw her videos, knew that she's an attorney, and took it upon themselves to kind of like tell on her at her work, and it ended in her quitting. Now, there are cases where social media will interrupt your career, even in the US or Canada, in these bigger economies. That's a possibility, but I don't think so. I don't think I just don't. And I want to do it. I want to take the risk. I am currently also in between jobs. I lost my previous job, so I'm looking for another one. And while I'm looking for another one, I have time. I have time on my hands. And also, I've just been feeling a nudge to take the risks and see what comes of it. My current situation is one that I had is one of my biggest fears literally come to life. You're probably like, what? I don't have a job. I don't have a source of income at the moment. And I have bills. I have bills to pay. This would be different had I lost my job when I was in my home country. Because when I was in my home country, when I was back in Rwanda, I had a support system. I can literally sleep in my parents' house and have no cares in the world and be okay and look for a job and you know. But while I am here, I don't really have that. I have friends. I kind of do have a support system, but not the same way that I would if I were I to be back home. And so this is one of the things that really, really scared me. And it happened. I lost my job and I freaked out. I did. I still do freak out as there's times where I spiral and I think of like situations. What if this happens? What if that happens? And this and this and that. And yeah, things could go badly. But what I'm trying to say is I took the risk. I came to this country and I now don't have a job. I have bills to pay, but the world didn't end. I didn't die. Like nothing really happened. So the fears that I have regarding like content creation and YouTube now seem smaller. My aversion to risk has become smaller just because I am now living one of the situations where I'm like, I was very scared of this. I still am, but shout out to God. I'm okay. I'm okay. And He has given me peace. And life is carrying on. Another side to it, this is very unstructured. I'm just speaking, chatting. Another side to it was when I lost my job, there was a point where I thought of it and I was like, had I started YouTube in any of the years I told you that I wanted to, where would it be today? Would my YouTube be monetized? Would it be a source of income? Could I not be as reliant on a 9 to 5 as I am at the moment? And I don't know. I do not know, but that's a possibility. So that's also one of the reasons, I will not lie to you, jobs are so volatile. Like you could literally lose it at any point. I knew this, but now having lived it, it's currently living it, it's now more real. So maybe, and if you have your YouTube account and you are lucky enough to that it takes off and it's making you money, no one can really take that away from you. Oh, maybe okay, there are situations where um, AdSense stops paying, you stop getting views. All these things, they are things that could happen for YouTube to stop making like money for you. But it could make you money for some time, you know? So that's also one of the things. But let's come back to this whole fear thing, because really the fear is what was holding me back. And I think a lot of people will probably relate to one of the fears that I have, because I still have them and I'm just doing it scared. The number one is fear of perception. People judging and seeing you, and just being perceived is actually like very scary. Putting yourself on the internet for people to hear you. This kind of video that I'm making is the most vulnerable I think I can make. I've been making hair content in Kinyarwanda on TikTok for about a year or plus now. Okay, maybe more, because in 2024 I was making it, so maybe 2 years. But it was just fun. Like I said, I've always been interested in content creation. TikTok is just, it was just fun, right? I started it and I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone that I had started it. Literally, my sister once had me like editing the video, and she was like, I heard a video and it sounded like your voice. So that's how I knew that you were now making content. I was like, yeah. She's like, share me your account. And so I gave it to her, but I didn't tell anyone that I had started it. I just started. And the quality was it was so bad. My video quality even now isn't what I want it to be. When I'm editing, I can see that it's not giving what I want it to give. The skills I haven't yet like learned in all aspects of video making, in editing, in shooting the videos themselves. Like I can see and be like, oh, I wish I had done this way. I wish I had done this that way. How do people get these things done? How do they actually like make this happen? But back then, my quality was atrocious. But I have a couple thousand followers. Given that I don't put in that much effort into it, and it's also in Kinyarwanda, so the pool of people that can understand it is reduced to like, I don't know, Rwandans, we're about like 14 millions now, plus Burundians, maybe another, I don't know how many Burundians, like what their population is. I'm just gonna double that, make it 28 million, round it up 30 or approximately, but that's the whole country. There's old people that are not on TikTok. So it really brings down my audience to the maximum that it could be, to like a few 100,000 people when I make videos in Kinyarwanda, versus millions and millions when I make them in English. So that's also one other thing that I'm now doing. I'm like, I'm going all in, making videos in Kenya in English. I also speak French, but I'm not very comfortable with French. I don't think I could make videos in French. So yeah, the fear of perception. Even now, I've had this idea of doing like these YouTube videos, and in my mind, I was like, okay, I'll make the video and then I'll share it on like my IG and my story on WhatsApp, and have people know that I've made this, and have them go watch it, blah, 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 so that I can get views because I want views. And then I would literally freeze, literally at that point, think about it and be like, no, no, because people that know me, like, I have a fear of perception, but at least if it's a stranger just watching me, then it's a stranger. But someone that I know in real life watching me just makes me feel, I don't even know the words to actually describe what I feel, but I'm like, ugh, no. So I've decided to do the same thing that I did with my TikTok. Start it. Start the YouTube. Now, would I get more views if I shared it with like on my status and on my stories and all these things? Yes. Yeah. People would watch it. I know my friends are very supportive family. I am blessed in that aspect that people will rally behind me and actually support me. But because in my own brain, the whole perception thing is not working, I won't. They will when they find out. One day I will tell my friends and be like, so I've been making YouTube videos, when it comes out in conversation, and then I can show them my channel. But I'm not gonna make it that my fear of perception becomes like an obstacle to me starting. I'll just start and not tell anyone and just do my thing. And then one day they'll know. Or maybe this is something that goes nowhere. And after making a few videos, I realized that actually I don't really want to do this. And I didn't make a big fuss and tell people, oh, I'm about to do, and it dies a peaceful death. Maybe. Also, something that I just thought of, when I tell people things that I'm gonna do, sometimes I end up not doing them. Like if I were to tell my friends, oh, I'm gonna make this video, blah, 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 sometimes I get the satisfaction that I would have gotten from said thing, and then I end up not doing it. It's very weird, but I think I've seen videos of people explaining this, like what exactly it is that's happening. But yeah, That's the number one fear, and how I'm dealing with it. I'm just going to post and not tell anyone and not put it on my stories and just post. And whoever the algorithm sends this to, they send it to them. If you are thinking of starting either a TikTok, a YouTube, anything, whatever, and you are scared of people perceiving you, which is a very real, very valid fear, just don't tell people. Don't tell them. Do it, but don't tell them. And if they once stumble upon your video on their For You page, or YouTube recommends it to them, you'll be like, yeah, so I was just doing it. And if someone is like, but why didn't you tell me? Just tell them, hey, uh, I didn't know yet. If like, find a way to explain it to them. Probably to me, I'll just come clean and be like, hey, I was scared, so I didn't make a big fanfare about it. The second fear of failure. Fear of failure. Oh, this one is probably like the biggest one. What if I start the YouTube channel, do all these things, but it goes nowhere? Put my ideas, bring them to life in the best of my ability, but then people don't watch them, people don't like them, people don't like me. It just leads to nothing. What if? And it's such a public way of failing. It's such a public failure. Some failures you can fail and people won't know. It's just between you and whoever was there to witness it. But the internet is such a public place. Like, it's so public. And when you've published a video and it's on the internet, even if you were to private it even if you were to private it or take it down or delete your channel, there's a possibility that that video went nowhere. That someone recorded it, downloaded it, did something. It's out in the public, and you literally maybe can never escape it. So that type of failure just seems too much. Honestly, it's scary. It is. And I can't help but compare myself to people that I know, people we went to school with, and that some are like doing really well in their careers and ABCDY, and I'm just here failing on YouTube. And I'm like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Just sit down and look for a software engineering job, and just, you know, don't ridiculize yourself. But then I still want to do it. I still want to take the risk. What would happen actually if I failed? People would laugh at me. I would feel bad that I failed. Okay. Again, not the end of the world. Now, it would be bad if it was to like maybe really, really, really impact my mental health and get to me and all these things. But failure sucks. It is the way it is. Trying something and it not working out, it would be hurtful. But the whole, oh, people will laugh at me, so what? So let them laugh. They will laugh. Okay. Maybe they won't, because maybe I won't fail. Maybe I won't fail. Maybe I will succeed. Which brings us to the last fear. I am simultaneously scared of failure, at the same time scared of success. I think of a possibility, like I said, I I like to think of, okay, this could fail, and this is what would happen if it failed. Truly nothing. My life would just go on as it is. This would just be an episode that once happened, or I would keep making videos because I like expressing my artistic side. But, nothing in my life really changes if I fail, except that maybe people in group settings, people that I know will just will laugh about it. People, but nothing tangible in my life would be impacted if I were to fail. However, if I were to succeed, things would look different. What if my YouTube takes off? Then what does life look like? We have all seen all these people who their life has literally changed through just making videos, through making content. They make huge amounts of money. That could be me if things aligned, like if I was lucky and the content that I was making brings value to people and people like it, and I get brand deals, and the whole gist of YouTube. It could be life altering. And then I think about that life and I can't picture it and I can't understand what it would look like. And it also scares me, fear of the unknown. So the success comes with unknowns of, like, they could take on very different looks. Like, it could, what would it look like if this was to succeed? Yeah, at the same time scared of failure and success, both, not one, not the other, both at the same time, which doesn't make sense. But that's the thing about feelings, they don't make sense. And I'm making this video not just to blab about myself, but I think there's a lot of us with the same feelings. And I was praying about it last night, and I came to this verse. I've known it. I love this verse, but I feel like it applies to this. First Timothy 1:7. I believe it is First Timothy, right? So in the ESV version, it says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." I love it, especially in the Amplified version. It says, "For God did not give us a spirit of timidity or cowardice or fear, but He has given us a spirit of power and of love and of sound judgment and personal discipline, abilities that result in a calm, well balanced mind and self control." I prayed in this scripture last night. I was like, "Good, I am operating out of the fear, out of the spirit of fear. I am letting these fears that I have change what I would do. I'm scared that if I do this, then it will impact my career. I've told you all these fears that I have, and I'm not going to go through them again. But I am essentially operating out, like, that's what I was saying last night, but I'm not anymore. But I was literally telling God, I'm operating out of this spirit of fear that I know you have not given to me. You have given me a spirit of power and love and self-control and self-discipline. So I want to operate in that. Do I still feel the fear? Yes. Yes. Are the fears valid to a certain extent? Yes. But then to another extent, it is just the enemy. Truly, it is just your mind playing tricks ish, the enemy though, mostly. So, yeah, this is me. This is me taking a leap of faith, literally trusting God. I want to put myself out there. I'm a very artistic person. I have so many ideas for YouTube, for content and things that I really think that you guys would enjoy, that you guys will find value in, things that I want to show the world. I want to show you these bands that I'm working on once I have finished them. And it's nice that I've created them, but I also want to show people that, hey, look, I've made this out of my own hands and yarn. And if you are an artistic person, you will understand what I mean. But when you create things, it's not just for you. It's not just for you to keep and to know that you have made them. You want people to see them too. So I want that. And I am taking the leap of faith, operating in this spirit that God has given me and not in the spirit of fear that is not from God. Taking the risk, we will see how things pan out, how things go. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. If you are going through the same things, maybe it's not YouTube for you. Maybe it's something else. It's something else that you have wanted to do for a long time, or that you want to do. Like, it feels heavy on your heart, but you are scared and there's a sense of risk to it. And you are feeling fear in one way or another. Pray about it. Operate in this scripture. Give it to God, but most importantly, do it scared. I know we have had this so many times and it starts feeling like people regurgitating the same thing, but it's true. Do it scared. You will not get over the fear just by thinking about it or just by praying. Praying helps, but taking action helps more. Doing the thing that scares you, do it. And do it again. The fear won't go away the first time. Do it, keep doing it, keep doing it. One day you'll wake up and be like, I used to be scared, but now I'm not. Or maybe you won't. Or maybe you'll still have a little bit of fear in the back, but it's not holding you back. It's not controlling your life. That's the most important thing, that you don't let it get the final say. Don't let the enemy have the final say, because you know that fear is definitely not from God. All right, I'll end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it encouraged you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.